I'm Angelina. I currently work for New Zealand Football as the Women's National Team's manager. I've been really lucky. I studied a Bachelor of Sport and Recreation at AUT, and from there, as part of the third year studies, I guess, you have to do an internship, and I did that with Northern Football, and from there I got a part-time role which turned into a full-time role, and I stayed there for about 5 years in various roles. So as football development administrator, so that meant organising football programs, coaching courses, things like that for the development officers, and from there I moved into an operations executive role, which included like funding applications and being board secretary, and so I did a range of things there, which was really great because it broadened like my understanding of the game. I'd say like I like football, but I don't know everything about it or how it worked in Auckland, so I was really fortunate that out of my placement I was given a job, and they really trusted me to kind of find my way, and yeah, it was really great. And then from there, like during my time at Northern, I was given some opportunities through like colleagues, so I ended up in team management through my first colleagues. He was involved with the secondary schools team, and his team manager couldn't travel, so he asked me, oh, you're pretty organised, is this something you want to get into? So I went on that trip to Fiji with under 15 girls, and then I think I did another one after that in Australia, and I also was again just through being in the building, so Northern Football and New Zealand Football are in the same building, and they needed a team manager for the development team in the National Youth League at the time, and so I picked that up as well, and that's how I got into team management, which is where I kind of stayed now. I've been really lucky from there because Northern allowed me to be a contracted team manager for New Zealand Football, so I took the under 20 women's for 2 cycles while I was still at Northern, so they were really good to me in allowing me to travel away with the team when I needed to, and from there obviously shifted across to New Zealand Football eventually full-time to work with teams as my full-time role. I'm really lucky. It's taken me to a lot of places. So the first cycle was a World Cup in Canada, had a tour to Brazil. So like in total I've done 3 under 20 Women's World Cups and a Senior Women's World Cup so far, and hopefully Olympics this coming year, which is really cool, something I never even knew was possible. I think a lot of people go into sports studies not really knowing what they are going to do or what's out there, and so I always find myself looking back and feel pretty lucky to have been given all the opportunities I have, and taking me to places like Canada, Brazil, whereas a lot of the islands we play qualifiers there a lot, France last year with the senior women. It's been really cool so far. I guess, at school I think a lot of people enjoy sport, and again, although you don't necessarily know what it could do, I knew like I had a passion there. I actually also tossed up doing physiotherapy at one point, but I wasn't sure I could get into that class. It's quite competitive, so I decided to go with sport and rec. I actually took a massage paper after that as well, just to see where my interests lie. But knowing at school, I enjoyed PE and health, and thought I'd go into that area and see what happens, and I'm still here. I guess, so my parents are Malaysian, but I was, and my sisters were born and bred here. So I think I've had quite like a, regular Kiwi upbringing, in that, you go to school, and during like, I think year 12, you meet with the career advisor and look at, what you enjoy and what you could study with that. And I think from, talking to them and saying, these are the potential options for me. I went from there and kind of had to just go with it, I guess, because I wasn't sure what else to do. Wasn't forced in any way to kind of have to study, But I felt like if I didn't do it after school, maybe I wouldn't as well. So it was a pressure on myself, I guess, to find something that I thought I might enjoy and see where it takes me. Whereas I think a lot of people go into sport thinking, oh, you know, it's just I can be a PE teacher. There's a lot more options. So I came out, in the beginning I thought I might major in exercise science and management, because I could, if I, you know, played the papers right, you could get both of those in the same amount of time. Eventually, so I took that all the way through to year 2, and then kind of decided exercise science probably wasn't for me. It was a lot of research and I didn't see me pursuing that any further. So then I kind of just came away with the management background, which has helped me in my roles after that, both Northern and New Zealand football. So I mean, the travel, I really love being part of team management, and to be able to travel with the teams has been like a double tick box, I guess. Being part of some really successful campaigns in terms of, you know, Canada, and we went through to the next round. It was the first time for a women's team. Really, to date, you know, touch wood, all the tours have gone without any major hitches really, so I take real pride in being part of that experience for those teams. And I'm really lucky because I really do love what I do, and hopefully I can keep doing it for a wee while longer. I think I like football. I wouldn't say I'm a fanatic, but my dad was, you know, played well as I grew up and organised teams and things like that. So I feel like maybe I got a bit of that from him. I obviously saw it was something like enjoyable and something I may be able to do. So I think that's where it started, and it got me here. So I'm really lucky and fortunate. Just having that exposure, I guess, to football, because otherwise I don't know that I would have got into the space if I hadn't seen it before, maybe. I think because it was a constant, I did think it was an option for me. I did play a little bit, not at any real high level, but at school, some friends were saying they needed more numbers in the team, so I joined like the school and club team, and did okay for a school and club level, but besides that, you know, always enjoyed playing. And then when the opportunities came to be involved in a team from a different side in the admin, I was like, oh, I'll give it a go, and kind of just took up my time in that way. So I stopped playing, and it's like, if you've been involved with a team, even as just like as a player, and you don't see the other side, like, you know, there's something that's about it, like about team sport. You really love getting up, going to the game, like the camaraderie, and being able to, I guess, affect things from a management perspective. I've been really lucky, and I think I've formed quite close relationships with players and staff, that they trust me to, you know, tell me, oh, you know, maybe don't like that, how can we change it, and things like lucky to be able to have open conversations like that. And it's allowed me to kind of make changes in the background to get the best for the team. So I don't know, it's hard to describe. I do really love team management. It's it's so hard to describe, but just being part of a team on tour every day, representing your country in a different way, like it wasn't going to be as a player for me. So to be able to do it in this way is really cool. I guess, I mean, I've kind of been lucky. I had quite a clear pathway in terms of my studies, and then an internship, which I then moved into a paid role, and then again moved into another organisation kind of in the same area, but into different roles. I think I had quite a clear pathway, but it was because I was given opportunities, and I guess trusted that, you know, I could do it or make it my own. If I didn't have that, I don't know if I would be here today, I guess. So I've had really supportive colleagues and managers who obviously saw something in me that maybe I didn't realise, and I've kind of reaped the benefits really, and we'll just see where it takes me. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I do have a strong work ethic. I think everyone who has worked with me would agree. But yeah, that translates into my normal life. I think a lot of the skills you get working in sport in terms of, being resilient and being adaptable, obviously in the team management space you have to be, just, I don't know, plane's delayed or bus doesn't show up or someone's lost their bag, you kind of have to be adaptable. All those skills translate into my normal life and just has really grown me as a person. Like I think being involved in sport like that does that for people, even just as a player, teaches you time management or, teamwork and things like that. So there are a lot of translatable skills, I guess, from sport into personal life and learnings as a person. Yes. Yeah, I guess in football it's quite a male dominant sport. And like every sport, I guess, like there is that issue of women's sport lacking, and how do we make that better? Like that can definitely be a challenge, especially in football, in terms of, because it is male dominant, I guess they have certain views, and in a way it's kind of, I guess, set in their ways. So trying to affect change, I guess, is a challenge, and an ongoing challenge, and I'm sure other sports would say the same for women in their sport. I think that would probably be a key one to me, because I guess sometimes you can feel maybe not heard, or it's harder to speak up in those contexts. But I guess now I'm in a position where like I am being heard. Like it takes time, but you also have to grow in, say, confidence and be really backed, I guess, to get to that position. So definitely in the beginning I'd say I probably was a bit quiet in meetings or something, but through that, again, given responsibility and being trusted by colleagues and things like that, been able to grow in that space, and now feel like when I speak I'm being heard, and I just kind of encourage more women in sport to do that. It's, I guess, like maybe find a mentor or someone to help you in maybe areas you're weaker in. Like I think everyone can always grow, male or female, it's not just a female thing. But I guess I'm lucky because I've had a good amount of time in football and well respected and earned it, I guess. That's tricky. I guess it's being involved in conversations. I wouldn't say that I know everything to change this in our sport or any sport, but at least being involved and open to having those challenging questions, like why are we doing this in this way, why can we not look to grow in this way. I guess just making sure I'm involved in those conversations, I guess, is the best way to tackle it, and at least I know I can go home at night and say I did everything I can to grow the sport. I guess for now, really happy in my role as teams manager for Football Ferns. I'd like to see us go to Olympics in 2021, and then from there we've got the World Cup in 2023 being hosted in New Zealand, Australia. So would like to still be involved in that in some form. So I guess that's the aspiration for now, work towards 2023, have really good preparation arranged for the team. So my role involves all the logistical side that people probably don't see in terms of getting the team from A to B and C sometimes, because our players are all spread across the world, so it's not like we ever travel from just New Zealand to Japan and back, let's say. It's always, we've got players in Iceland, England, Sweden, Norway, Australia, all over the place. So it's usually a lot of work to get us to the same place at the same time, and I guess in one piece and fed and watered and all that. So that's kind of my main role, and hopefully can still be involved with all of that planning for hopefully an awesome performance in 2023 at home. So. Challenges for me going into the work environment was definitely confidence. in myself, I guess, because it was an area I didn't really know as much as I did do an internship at Northern. When I moved into a part-time and then full-time role, it was in an area that I didn't do any of my intern stuff in, so it was being confident in myself to do those tasks. Again, it was a lot of learning, I guess, and being open to that. I get that, and you probably work with people now that maybe aren't open to conversations or maybe facilitating my learning, so that was important, and it's like a two-way thing. So finding people that are gonna help you in that journey, but also you, like in myself, like being able to ask those questions and not seem silly. There aren't any stupid questions generally, but I guess you yourself think, oh, I should know that. I don't really want to let people know that I don't know that. So it's just being confident was like a hurdle in the beginning, and yeah, like being heard in public speaking, or putting yourself out there, because I'm sure it's a barrier for anyone, and even a new job, because you're new, it's hard to speak up and feel like you don't look silly. So I guess the main ones were confidence and building that, and being able to speak up are things that definitely in the beginning of my career, I guess, you have to overcome, and I guess everyone overcomes that in different ways, but I was lucky to be, I guess, nurtured by so many good colleagues to eventually feel confident enough to just go out there and do what I can for sport. I guess growth is just like personal development, and that's not even just in a work context, it's just as a person. I think you're always growing and there's always room to grow, so like that's massive as a person. I mean, if you don't want to be a better person, that's really sad, I guess. So I think it's more probably about personal development for me, growth, and there's room for it at all times, and whether that's just at home trying to be a better partner or family member, or in the work environment, like being a colleague that is respected and someone like I want to be talked to by everyone at any time and feel approachable. So I guess growth for me is like personal development in all senses, I guess. Like for me, like I said already, I'm really lucky to have found something I really love doing. So I think it's like, if you're in a lull, just reassess and do find something that you're passionate about and go for it. I can't stand the thought of probably doing something day in and day out that I don't enjoy. So if you've hit a lull, just like take a step back, have a think, and find something you love and go for it. Growing up was a bit different because there weren't that many, I guess, Asian kids around at that time, 30 odd years ago. So at school it was different. You're like, oh, why aren't there other Asians? Like, I feel like I was the only one in my class for a long time, until more like high school there were probably more Asians around by then. So it was different, and you definitely asked like questions like, why am I different? Or but I didn't think like it affected me really. It was just different. I remember, it's funny because I see home videos now looking back, and I think I was singing songs in Mandarin as a child, but now I probably can't even remember, or as soon as I went to school I probably didn't use enough of the language. So that's something that I wish I'd use more, but I guess once you go to school you're like, oh, why do I need this? Everyone's speaking English. I wouldn't say I was ever challenged by being different, I guess. It was just, I guess questions within yourself, but then eventually growing up you saw more and more, and it's kind of normal now, especially in Auckland we're pretty diverse. Even in sport, there's even more, not just, ethnic spread, but also, male, female. So it's definitely changed a lot since I've been at school. Hasn't hasn't challenged me at all really. Again, in a work sense, I feel like, you know, I've been treated same as everyone else and been able to earn my right to be there too. So I've been really lucky. Yeah, I guess it's quite hard. I have my immediate family here and like one family on each side with cousins here, but most family is all overseas, so it's probably, I don't connect as much with my roots. But definitely, you know, when there's family gatherings or Chinese New Year and things like that, we always get together, go to temple and things like that. So it's, I guess, always like around for those occasions, I guess, is how probably the most that I try to be connected with my roots. Mum and Dad, you know, speak very good English, but also, you know, Cantonese at home, a bit of Malay. So just by, I guess, the language, although I'm not fluent, I can pick up bits and pieces, and I feel like I do need to do that more to be, I guess, you know, connected to my roots. But hopefully, yeah, when we can travel again, like to go to Malaysia and visit family and things like that. I've only been a few times as family holidays, but not recent. So yeah, it'll be good to do that. Like really lucky to have grown up here, and, you know, wouldn't have changed a thing. But yeah, a work in progress to probably feel connected with my roots. Oh, young self. Keep working hard, it will pay off. Yeah, I guess, you know, growing up you don't really know what you want to do or what's right, and yeah, I guess, although I've been lucky now, I guess there's definitely, everyone has those bumps along the way, like, oh, what am I doing, or is this right for me? So yeah, I just tell my young self to keep working hard and it will work out. I guess it was the, like, going into a sport and rec degree, I didn't really know if it would turn out into a career. Obviously, I'm not saying that study has to turn into a career and you stay on that path, but I did kind of hope that for myself, because, you know, you see a lot of people try many courses and still not know, which is totally okay. But for me, I really want to find something that I enjoyed and loved and would set me up for the future. So I guess the bumps were, you know, what should I study? Where will that take me? Then when I did do it, it was what even jobs are out there, because I guess predominantly people just think it's a PE teacher or a PT or something like that. So yeah, and then from there, like, an internship was perfect for me at Northern, because I got to see, you know, a side of a sport that I liked, and how it operated, and then realised that maybe I fit here and I could, like, do something for the sport. So, but even from there, being offered a role that I didn't necessarily do any of my internship stuff in, was, oh, is this right for me? Should I do it? I remember talking to my dad being like, oh, I got offered this role, but I don't know anything about it. And he was like, just give it a go, like, what have you got to lose? So I guess, yeah, internal bump, but got over that in the end. And then, yeah, in team management, something that was totally new, but was given a chance. It was like, well, why not? Like, first it was, again, a case of, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't go there, what if I don't do a good job? But yeah, eventually I guess it's just, yeah, another message to self, I guess, just like, try it out. It's okay to try it and not enjoy it, but if you don't try it at all, you don't know, right? So yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like, what's the harm? Like, you're only, like, I shouldn't say you're only young once, but, you know, you've got a lot of time to try things. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying many things. I know people that have tried multiple courses and eventually found what they love, so there's no point wasting time doing what you don't love. So yeah, just try things. It's okay to drop out if that's what's, like, right for you, to move on to the next thing. But yeah, just give it a go. Yeah, I think there's heaps of opportunities for male and female in sport. So, and whether that's playing, administering, coaching, refereeing, like, if you are passionate about it, give it a go. There's so many courses out there. There's, you know, people like yourselves at Harbour Sport that can connect you with the right people. So just give it a go. There's so many opportunities and you don't know who